Kumaba and your students for opening our ceremony today. My name is Linnea Ching with the Hawaii State Department of Education, and on behalf of the department, thank you all for joining us here this morning and online as well. Today we'll be providing updates and information on two initiatives aimed at addressing critical needs as well as honoring the resilience of our Lahaina public school educators. I'd like to introduce our speakers who will be providing remarks shortly and recognize some of our special guests. So speaking shortly, first we'll have the Honorable Governor of the State of Hawaii, Josh Green, MD, followed by Superintendent Keith Hayashi, Kaleka Manoha of Princess Nahiana'ena Elementary School, and Doris Garcia from King Kamehameha III Elementary School. Joining us today, we also have Board of Education member Wes Lowe, Deputy Superintendent Tammy Chan, Deputy Complex Area Superintendent for Hana Lahaina Luna Lanai Molokai, Momi Kihata Ball, and our four Lahaina principals, Richard Caroso from Lahaina Luna, Ian Haskins from King Kamehameha III, Gary Kanamori from Princess Nahiana'ena, and our Lahaina Intermediate Principal, Stacy Bookland, wanted to be here but couldn't join us, unfortunately. And from the Maui Economic Development Board, we have President and CEO Leslie Wilkins and Chief Financial Officer Michelle Coco. So we'll move into our speakers, starting with Governor Josh.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Great to see you. Today is a really terrific day, and we're here to honor people as we approach Thanksgiving for their commitment, for their true resiliency in their recovery since the Maui wildfire. It was 472 days ago, and people have gone through so incredibly much, whether it's trying to find housing, to decide that they can stay in our beautiful schools, to figure out where their families will live, and when they ultimately will be able to go back to their homes when they get rebuilt in Lahaina. So, 472 days ago, when the fire hit, thousands of families were displaced, over 3,000 families were displaced. Many of them were teachers, or social workers, people that worked in the community, of course, working at hotels. It affected, though, even more than those families. Over 13,000 people were affected one way or another directly, and then really all of Maui and the state of Hawaii felt a different impact. And we lost. And remember the 102 individuals that perished. So I'm here today with a heart full of gratitude for what people have done and admiration for their ability to really stand up and fight for the keiki that were affected so profoundly. We're standing here in the school, and it's important. So we're going to do a couple special things. The schools in Lahaina have been the pillars of strength for families, and that's why what we're going to talk about today is focused mostly on them. Fire itself took so much from community, but one thing was clear, and that's that the commitment from this incredible community was there, but people were really struggling. So we thought, after hearing from a lot of families, that there was just need on top of need on top of need. I started hearing people calling me on my cell, or when I was walking about with Mayor Bisson, and much love to Mayor for all of his support. People would say, look, I need to help the children with knapsacks or bicycles, or I have a lot more gas costs because I'm going to keep coming to the schools, but it's tough because we're rebuilding. I lost my house, or my friends did, and I just need some help. So we thought these are heroes, these individuals that are continuing to come and educate and provide strength for our students. And so we came up with the idea of the Lahaina Heroes Award. And so everyone that's going to benefit from this is a hero in our minds. I decided that we needed to find some money, and I just had a call from Lynn and Mark Benioff, who wanted to do something special for Lahaina. And they said, if you put some money towards any kind of program to support individuals who have been struggling, we will match it, or more will cover it. And so it's just incredible that they decided to do that. So what we're doing today is we're announcing these awards, And so every teacher, staff member, administrator who played a crucial role in lifting up Lahaina and showing our keiki that they can overcome is going to receive a small award. If they're full-time, they'll receive about $2,500. If they were part-time, maybe $1,000. And just to take the edge off a little bit, of course, that is never enough, but that will hopefully enable them to get through this bumpy spot. And then they'll be able to do it again next year, a second round of awards. And so we have over 300 people that will receive these awards. So I'll pause here for a second. Let me just do this. I need a volunteer. Sue, can you come up? So, turn around. This is if you don't mind. Yeah. Here's a check here for so this is a check for $723,500 for the first round for our heroes. And the Benioffs who are doing other charitable work today couldn't be here, but so Soup and I wanted to give this check to you guys, and we're going to take care of people here. Take us down to the Bank of Hawaii Air Force with us. All right, there we go. So that's part one. So in addition to this work, the biggest challenge we've got is housing, right? Everyone is wrestling with housing in the community, especially if they lost their home, but also because there's this huge surge of need. And we are going to spend a lot today seeing the housing that's been built, the transitional housing. But the superintendent said, if you could help us build housing here as direct, in direct support of those at the school, that would make the biggest difference. So today we're announcing the Lahaina Workforce Housing Project. It's a $20 million initiative funded through state support, capital improvement funds, and the Major Disaster Fund, which is the disaster relief. So it reflects our needs. 1/3 of Lahaina's Hawaii DOE employees experience housing displacement due to the wildfires. So this should take down some of the pressure. It's going to be 47 units, rental unit complex at Lahaina Luna High School, built by the Dowling Company, Maui-based, of course. So we're going to prioritize displaced educators, because that's what the SOUP said we needed. I mean, this is really what we felt we should do. We're going to start building them quickly. We're going through a rapid process of permitting. I think that the principal intends to get out his hammer and do some of the work right alongside people. That's how excited we are about this. The first units will be online, we hope, this coming July, and then we hope to complete the entire project by November. So we're going to do what they did over at Kapalua. Real quick building, get this thing done. So to the teachers and staff in Lahaina, your strength has inspired us. And we've shed tears along the way for what people have gone through. I want people to know that I expect the trajectory of recovery to be steady, and then we were talking about this as we approach the 3-year mark. People will see houses everywhere. They will see so much completed, but each of these projects are meant to be part of that. So I would just close by saying mahalo for your resilience and for caring for people, for wrapping your arms around people that suffered great trauma. And each of these projects, I hope, will help just a little bit to get us through.
Thank you, Governor. Next, we have Superintendent Keith Hayashi.
Mahalo, Governor Green, for your leadership and for championing the needs of our educators and students here in Lahaina. Today's announcements are more than just about housing and recognition. They're about the heart of our community, our schools, and the incredible people who serve them. The $20 million Workforce Housing Project is a transformative investment that will address one of the greatest challenges our Lahaina workforce and educators face. By providing affordable and stable housing we're ensuring that our teachers and staff can remain here, deeply rooted in the communities that they serve. I want to take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude to everyone who made this possible. The Governor, Governor Green, our state legislators, and our partners at the Dowling Company. Together, we are not only rebuilding, but reimagining a future where our educators and who are supported can thrive. And alongside this long-term solution, the Lahaina HERO Awards reminds us of the resilience and dedication of our school employees. They stepped up during one of the most difficult times in our history, welcoming students back and creating a sense of normalcy when it was most needed. The generosity of Mark and Lynn Benioff and our partnership with the Maui Economic Development Board have ensured that the extraordinary efforts do not go unnoticed. In the first round of HERO Awards, we distributed more than $723,000 to over 300 Lahaina educators who played a critical role in keeping Lahaina schools open following the wildfires. We'll be opening a second round of HERO Awards to recognize Lahaina educators for their continued commitment during this current year. I also want to recognize our Office of Talent Management and Office of Information and Technology Services and their teams for handling the intake and vetting of our HERO applications. To our educators, thank you for your commitment to our students, our schools, and our community. You are the foundation of our recovery and our future. We look forward to seeing these housing units completed and to celebrating continued milestones with all of you. Mahalo.
Thank you, Superintendent. Next, we have Kaleko Manoha from Princess Lahaina Elementary School.
Aloha kako. My name is Kaleko Kukahiko Manoha. I was born and raised in Lahaina. I've attended elementary at King Kamehameha III, middle school at Lahaina Intermediate, and I'm a proud graduate of Lahaina High School. I come from a legacy of the Kukahiko Ohana who have served and supported our Lahaina community for generations. It begins with my tutu papa, John Mahele Kukahiko, who served as a minister at Honolulu Church. My papa, Earl Kukahiko, better known as Chief, was a farm foreman at Lahaina High School for 30 years, as well as a minister at Waiola Church. My grandma, Barbara Kukahiko, was the cafeteria manager at Lahaina High School for 11 years, and then King Kamehameha III Elementary for 13 years. My dad, Earl Ray Kukahiko, has coached many community and high school sports, and currently he serves on the Mayor's Advisory Committee as a community representative. To continue my family's legacy, I've worked with children of Lahaina for the last 22 years through programs like Summer Pals and Kamaina Kids A+. I've worked at Princess Nahi'ena'ena for the past 17 years, 3 years as a substitute teacher, 10 years as a classroom teacher, and these last 4 years as the curriculum coordinator. In my current role, it is my duty to assist our teachers and help maintain alignment to school, district, and state initiatives. I find joy in my work at Princess Nahi'ena'ena because my focus has always been to shape and guide not only the children of Lahaina, but also my 10-year-old daughter, along with many nieces and nephews who attend our school. It is important for her to learn about and understand the legacy she comes from. As a product of Lahaina, I was influenced by my educators, and as an educator, I believe it is my responsibility to inspire and guide our children. After the fires, one of the biggest challenges was finding a way to get students back to school. I was fortunate to be a part of creating and organizing a hub that brought together 3 schools, Lahaina Intermediate, King Kamehameha III, and Princess Nahi'ena'ena. Together, we made it possible for students from Lahaina to return to classes led by familiar faces. The Lahaina wildfires brought some challenges to our school as well. The loss of homes in our community continued to impose the ongoing challenge of fluctuating in student enrollment. With families scattered across the island and limited housing options in Lahaina, rebuilding our enrollment to pre-fire levels has been a difficult task. Despite these challenges, we were fortunate to be a part of an amazing experience. Sharing a campus with teachers and staff of King Kamehameha III provided a wonderful opportunity for our Lahaina children. I am lucky to be a part of the staff at Princess Nahiane'ena because we have been ready and willing to serve every child on our campus. One of the most special aspects of our school is that our staff is not only well supported, but also supports each other wholeheartedly. Personally, I am looking forward to returning to a neighborhood close to where my home once was. I'm currently in the process of transitioning from a condo in Ka'anapali to state interim housing at Kala'iola, located above Hawaiian Homes here in Lahaina. This move brings a sense of normalcy, not just for me, but for my child as well. For my school community, I am eager to continue the work of supporting and empowering the youth of Lahaina. Mahalo.
Mahalo, Kaleka. And finally, we have Doris Garcia from King Kamehameha III.
Aloha. I'd like to mahalo our principal, Ian Haskins, for the opportunity to be here today to represent my fellow brothers and sisters who I serve alongside. Mahalo nui to Governor Green and Superintendent Hayashi for your support, and mahalo nui to Mark and Lynn Banya for your heart of generosity towards the educators of Lahaina. I moved here from Hana in 1987 when I enrolled as a four-year boarder here at Lahaina Luna High School. This is where I truly learned what it meant to represent Lahaina as my home, and also where I met my husband, Louis, and his ohana. They come from generations of the Garcia, Kauhane, and Mailua ohana. This community welcomed me in as their own, and where I started my family. Lahaina is a very tight-knit community, and I cannot see myself living anywhere else. In this season, we are temporarily living in Wai'ehu, and so grateful for that opportunity and community, but nowhere can compare to Lahaina's sunsets, beaches, schools, and people. I joined the King Kamehameha III school team 3 years ago after being laid off during COVID from the hotel industry. I could have easily gone back to that, but God called me to serve the children in my new season of life. It is a very humbling experience to be entrusted with the lives of our future leaders and to partner with those who have also been called. I remember my first year, one of the seasoned teachers asked me if I was related to a specific student because of the way I talked and interacted with him. I said no, but I know his parents and I know his family, and that's what it looks like when people say it takes a village to raise children. We all have an opportunity to raise and shape the future leaders of our communities, and this calling, I answer with a resounding yes. Not knowing what August of 2023 will do to our town, that yes needed to be very clear, and that yes is what has helped me to continue to show up even after our family home was sown back to the land for God's glory, even in all the uncertainty of where we would live, and not even knowing where we would work. When the DOE announced they would be providing bus services for students to attend Kamali'i Elementary in Kihei, I knew that's where I needed to go. Everyone had to make the best decision they knew to make at that time for themselves and their families, and so many of our families did not want their children so far away from them. But as they learned that I would be on the bus and at the school, they reached out and asked if I could take special care of their child. Again, the answer was yes. Even as we moved back to Lahaina and joined our Princess Nahiane'ena ohana for our season, parents were still very uncomfortable. But when my husband and I made the decision to have our daughter there and myself, I had no idea my yes would help more families. The biggest fear for everyone was what would happen if another fire started and their children were here on the hill. I remember every day thinking and figuring out how many kids I could fit in my truck and what route of escape it would be. Although we never talked about it with each other, I know all of us at the schools thought about that every day. What happened has definitely changed the way we plan, the way we live, and the way we don't take each day for granted. The 23-24 school year was definitely a great push for all of the educators who needed to truly dig deep into who they were and remember why we said yes to this calling. Now that we are settled in our temporary school, I see more and more students and families coming back, and although we have a long way to go, there is definitely a sense of peace and joy. Don't be mistaken, it's not all rainbows shooting out Skittles every day. Some days are really hard for a lot of staff and kids, but for myself, I purposely take a breath and remember my why and my yes. I look forward to moving physically back to Lahaina and no longer doing the daily 1-hour commute from Wai'ehu and another 1 to 2 hours after school back to Wai'ehu. I see the progress in Lahaina every day as I drive in, and I can't wait for the day when our home starts the process of being rebuilt and we can finally be home. To my school community, as a parent of a student, I say thank you. Thank you for your yes. Thank you for showing up, especially on the really hard days. And I say and encourage you to keep the vision of our Lahaina schools alive inside of your spirit, because what you do and how you sow into the children's lives will shape our future community of Lahaina. Mahalo.
Thank you so much. So that concludes our program portion. I know we have some reporters here. If you want to do questions now.
Yeah, just clarification. The recipients are these two women right here, or?
So these two women educators are two of the over 300 recipients in the first part of the grant program, and we thought we'd spread it out over 2 years so that people could have some benefit from the recovery part, and then, as you heard, this next phase. So it also helps people because we're mindful of the impact even on taxes for people. We don't want anyone to lose extra tax money. So and the goal really is, as you hear, imagine someone having to be an hour away, whether it's extra time or gas or long distance phone calls or extra food and snacks for kids is happening. I mean, everything. So it's just a small amount, but hopefully $5,000 will take the edge off, and soon people will be back in their homes, and that's going to be amazing.
Just maybe each of you, if you could come up and just share like your feelings after learning that you're a recipient of this award.
I think for me it was just a sense of like, oh, that's so awesome, that we're getting a little bit extra. And it just is very helpful, especially considering I have a child. So.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was so pleasantly surprised, but I'm also not, because I serve a big God, and He blesses us. I mean, this is a blessing that has continued to be a blessing to a lot of people. So it was really surprising and exciting that a lot of people would get that blessing. So.
We thought, we've heard stories about some people buying books for the students. Some people maybe needed to make a down payment on a car for their family if they lost it. I mean, every single family has gone through something different. The reason it was for educators and those who are working at the schools was because we really wanted to support children to be back and stay in the community. And so the principals told us, they need support for their staff, because we have a teacher shortage historically across the state, and there were openings elsewhere. But we wanted everyone to be able to stay here and teach in Lahaina schools if possible. And they went through so much, so we didn't want to give people a plaque. We wanted to give them a check. Yeah.
Soup, you got black marks on your back on your shirt. I don't know, some pen marks or something.